Happy New Year and welcome to 2026 and welcome to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. Let's take a look at what's coming up.
Way back in 1976, as part of the bicentennial movement across the country, Cleveland specifically said, let's pay homage to the greats in sports in Cleveland. And they established the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame back then.
The Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame will soon be opening in 2026, and we'll give you a sneak peek at what's inside. Showing up to court can be an intimidating process. We'll walk you through exactly what you need to know before navigating the Cleveland Municipal Courthouse. And for generations, Cleveland's Mounted Police Unit has been a steady presence on city streets. TV20 takes you inside the unit to explore its history, the process of training the equine for police work, and the unique bond between officer and horse. In a ceremony held in the Red Room of Cleveland City Hall, at the stroke of midnight Monday morning, Cleveland Mayor Justin M. Bibb was sworn in for his second term. In a ceremony held in the Red Room of Cleveland City Hall, at the stroke of midnight Monday morning, Cleveland Mayor Justin M. Bibb was sworn in for his second term.
That I will faithfully,
honestly,
and impartially
discharge the duties of mayor
to
the city of Cleveland,
state of Ohio,
during my continuance in said office. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mayor Bibb, who was joined by his mother Irene and members of his cabinet, signed documents officially kicking off his second term. And Cleveland City Council welcomed 3 new members: Austin Davis of Ward 7, Nikki Hudson of Ward 11, and Tanmay Shah of Ward 12 were sworn into council. The newcomers joined re-elected members like Council President Blaine Griffin. The council reduced from 17 to 15 members due to population shifts. You can read about the new members and their wards at clevelandcitycouncil.gov/council and just click on Council Members. Cleveland Metropolitan School District has opened its online portal to allow families to pick schools for their students. Here's what you need to know. Parents and guardians of CMSD students have until February 27th to enroll. New CMSD students, 8th graders, and students whose schools are closing as part of the school merge plan will all need to choose a school. Those whose schools are closing have a guaranteed spot at their new school. The district's website, clevelandmetroschools.org, shows a complete list of options. And to get the online portal, visit that same website and click Enrollment. The district will announce student placements during the week of March 30th. Well, the holidays are over. It's 2026, and that means it's time to make your annual resolutions. So how about making a resolution for financial responsibility? Joining me now is Dr. Jonathan Ernest, Assistant Professor of Economics with the Case Western's Weatherhead School of Management. Dr. Ernest, thank you for joining me again.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, we've gone through the holidays, we've spent the money, but now let's look at how to save money. What are good ways to start to make plans for building up our accounts and putting money away for a rainy day?
Yeah, so hopefully you didn't overextend yourself too much during the holidays with all those wonderful deals and trying to get gifts for all your friends. What you want to do now is really fall into that planning mode and start to get things ready for the coming year. But you also want to remember that, there are things to tidy up from 2025. So you want to first of all make sure that you have a plan to have your taxes filed in the next couple months so that you can figure out if you're getting a return there, if you need to pay any extra, those sorts of things. Make sure that you're getting all of your deductions and things that you would need to accomplish there, and also potentially work with even some sort of financial planner or someone else who can help you see how you did last year, plan for the future, and make sure that you're really ready to save and invest. So you want to make a budget for 2026. You want to have sort of those line items for things that you're going to be spending money on this year, your rent and your food and those sort of items. You want to plan for any large purchases that you might be making. So if you say, hey, summertime's now not that far away. We're getting partway through winter at least. And it would be great to take that great American road trip this year, but my car is kind of getting a little bit on the older side. Maybe I'm thinking about upgrading. Now is a great time to budget not only for those kind of week to week or even month to month finances, but also make plans for those larger purchases. So start putting money away in particular accounts potentially so that you know not to touch it. So it's building up to be able to invest in those. And then having a plan to set money aside for even longer into the future, for children's savings accounts, for eventually for school, for your own 401k or IRA, all of those things that you want to break down so that you know that your monthly budget isn't all the dollars I have available this month. You want to set aside that hopefully large percentage towards saving for the future so that you're in a more comfortable position as we go through the year.
You know, when I was growing up, my dad always told me when you get your first paycheck, always put 10% away into a savings account and don't really touch it. Does that rule still hold true today?
So I think that's still very good advice, and especially if you don't have sort of an emergency fund already in place, then you want to be potentially saving even more than that if you can, to make sure that you have some dollars just in case that unexpected thing happens. So you have that little bit older car, you might find that suddenly it has some kind of, the engine light is on, you have to take it in and find out what's going on, and it's a couple $1,000s. If you haven't budgeted for that or set some money aside, that can be really painful. If you start borrowing money to pay it off and then you're paying high interest rates, you're trying to dig yourself out of a hole all year instead of being ahead and being able to pay for it when that emergency does happen. And so if you're in the situation where you have that, emergency fund set aside, you might be able to cover a month or two of expenses, at least with that sort of funds, then you still want to be setting money aside. But how you're doing that kind of depends in terms of how much you're really setting. So you want to be putting money towards retirement. If you're, not yet of retirement age, you want to be potentially investing and putting money away potentially all the way up to the limits of what's available for any children that you might want to save for their eventual college education, or for them to be able to, purchase a house when they get older or something like that. And so as you're setting those dollars away, you want to make sure you're saving for your retirement, saving for your future, and saving for those larger, more kind of intermediate purchases that you might make. And that's probably going to take more than 10% of your income, if you can, to put towards those things before you start spending on all of these other necessities that you have.
Maybe someone watching today is realizing, okay, I've been working for a while, but I never really thought about my retirement. Is it ever too late to start putting away for retirement?
It's definitely not too late, right? But earlier is better because you get the magic of compound interest. If you put away dollars today, they accrue interest over, this year. Now, next year, those dollars that accrued this year in terms of interest are then accruing their own interest. And we see just very quick escalation of the money in your account over time as the money that you're saving then grows and grows and kind of snowballs. And so you want to be able to take advantage of that. So the earlier you start investing, the better. But setting some money aside at any point is going to put you in a much more comfortable position than trying to just, turn 67 and then say, okay, my job's done, what do I do now? And then your bank account's not overflowing with funds. That puts you in a much rougher spot.
Yeah.
So you want to be sure that you're planning ahead. The earlier, the better. Putting a few dollars away today is very helpful. And when you psychologically put those funds in an account that you say, well, this is for much later, you're much less tempted to touch them versus if you have a jar of money on your counter that you say, well, this is for my 401k, but then you say, well, I'd really like to order some pizza this Friday, and you start to take back out of that jar. That's really tempting to do.
Yeah. Finally, if I can't bring in my own financial planner or advisor, where can I go? How can I look around to figure out this stuff on myself, my own?
Yeah, so the wonderful thing about the growth and expansion of the internet is there are free apps, there are free websites that you can go to get advice. You want to be careful with your advice, so I wouldn't recommend yet just going and using AI and saying, hey, plan my whole financial life. You can probably get some really good advice, but with anything, when you're doing that sort of thing, you want to double check it, be sure, get several opinions, make sure that it's not leading you down the wrong path. But that's a wonderful resource that you could potentially use to at least get started, especially if you feel like you're just sitting there and saying, I want to do something about my finances, I want to have a plan, I want to have a budget, but I'm not quite sure how to just start. And you sit down with your notebook and just stare at it. A great thing to do is to go online, search for, financial plans, advice, etc. Get the basics, try to understand those, and test out AI, see how it works, see if it can give you any good tips that you might not have had. But then don't just run blindly with them. Make sure that you verify. In that sense.
All right, Dr. Jonathan Ernst, thank you so much for joining us today. Great advice as always. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Happy to be here. Nice talking to you.
The essence of the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame is you're either from the 9 counties that surround Cleveland, or if you came here and you excelled in sports and you made Cleveland your home, then you're eligible to be in the Sports Hall of Fame.
Coming up after the break, we give you a special look inside the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame.
Well, we all know that coming to court can be an intimidating process, but if you are prepared, it can make it a lot easier. I'm Gabby Hart, and coming up, I'll break down step by step what you need to know before coming to court.
This winter, Thurgood Marshall Neighborhood Resource and Recreation Centers will offer our basketball fundamentals and skills training for ages 8 and older. We provide all the instruction, basketballs, equipment, and space for all of our participants, free of charge. Just bring your athletic wear and tennis shoes. This program takes place every Monday at 4:30 p.m. and Wednesday at 3 p.m. in our gymnasium. The benefits of the program will give players the opportunity to enhance their basketball skills, whether you are a beginner or at the advanced level. So what are you waiting for? Contact Thurgood Marshall Neighborhood Resource and Recreation Center or call 216-664-4045 for more information. We look forward to seeing you on the court.
Welcome back to TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. A traffic ticket, a misdemeanor criminal offense, or even a first appearance for a felony arraignment, walking into court can be intimidating. And not knowing the process only makes the anxiety worse. The Cleveland Municipal Court wants you to be ready to navigate the Justice Center. Here's TV20's Gabby Hart bringing us part 1 of your day in court.
Well, it's something no one wants to deal with. But the fact is, being prepared before you step into this courthouse can make an already difficult situation go a bit smoother. So in part 1, we are giving you a look at what you should expect on day 1 stepping into the Justice Center for a new case.
Because if you don't know where you're going, the Justice Center can be kind of scary.
When you arrive at the Justice Center, Cleveland Municipal Court Judge Andrea Nelson Moore says the first priority is time management.
And when I say give yourself enough time, I mean give yourself enough time to park. Give yourself enough time to walk into the door. Give yourself enough time to figure out how to navigate the elevators and the line.
And if it's your first time here for a new case, the initial arraignment courtrooms are located on level 3 of the Justice Center. All 12 Cleveland Municipal Court judges handle the initial stages of nearly every case. While they ultimately rule on the misdemeanor, civil, and traffic cases, they do handle first appearances and set initial bonds for felonies before those cases get sent up to county judges. When you get to level 3, bailiffs like Jason Daly here, they're on site to sign you in, answer questions, and make sure you're in the right place. The Cleveland Municipal Court emphasizes that all tickets for the city of Cleveland are written for 8:30 in the morning. The time on your ticket, though, is not the exact time that your case will be called, and you should absolutely expect to wait. You should also hold on to any paperwork you're given. It'll help when it's time to navigate the later stages of your case. Finally, a key part of preparation is showing proper respect for the legal process. That means addressing the judge as Judge or Your Honor, leaving hats and casual clothing at home, and dressing appropriately.
You're here to take care of business, and you want to put your best foot forth. You want your initial impression to be the best impression that you can have.
Now, next week in part 2, we're going to walk you through what happens after that initial appearance and when it's time to head upstairs to your judge's courtroom. For now, I'm Gabby Hart, TV20.
I'm at the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame here at West 47th and Lorraine, where I'm going to go in and give you a sneak peek of all the cool things that are inside.
Way back in 1976, as part of the bicentennial movement across the country, Cleveland specifically said, let's pay homage to the greats in sports in Cleveland. And they established the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame back then.
The Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame is looking to open its doors in 2026, but it took the help of some big partnerships to bring the Hall of Fame to its location at Urban Community School.
The reason it is here on the campus of Urban Community School is the great partnership that folks connected with the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame have had with the amazing faculty and administration here at Urban Community School. So they were building the Roundstone Athletic Center, and they, along with our arrangement with them, said there's 2,000 square feet right at the front of this complex that potentially could be the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame.
There are also guidelines on who is eligible to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
The essence of the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame is you're either from the 9 counties that surround Cleveland, or if you came here and you excelled in sports and you made Cleveland your home, then you're eligible to be in the Sports Hall of Fame. The great example we always give is of Bob Feller. Bob, of course, from Van Meter, Iowa, the schoolboy that came to the Indians and was actually a national success and a Hall of Famer, a hero serving the World War II effort in the war. He is from Iowa, but yet came here, and then when he finished with his career, he stayed here as a Clevelander, a Greater Clevelander. So he's eligible to be in the Sports Hall of Fame.
The Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame is truly a sight to behold. When I walked in, I was first taken in by the bright colors of the beautiful mural created by GV Art and Design that wraps around the upper portion of the room. Then I noticed how interactive the exhibits were, from the You Make the Call booth to the giant computer where you can look up the inductees by sport or even by school.
We worked with a couple of companies, Impact Communications and also Benchmark Craftsman. Benchmark Craftsman's out in the Seville area have done a lot of exhibits for tremendous places that are places that you'd be familiar with. They've done work with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and others, and they were tremendous partners to be involved with, whether it was putting videos together that kind of states our mission, or the great moments in Cleveland sports, or You Make the Call exhibit that we have here. These have been great partners to be with that we hope to continue our relationship with many years down the road.
What a great tour of the Greater Cleveland Sports Hall of Fame. I could have spent hours talking with John about the great history of Cleveland sports. If you want more information, go to clevelandsportshall.com. Next, a TV20 documentary. We take you inside Cleveland's Mounted Police Unit, exploring its history and what all it takes to train a horse for police work.
This winter, Thurgood Marshall Neighborhood Resource and Recreation Center will offer our boxing program for ages 8 and older. We provide all the instruction and space for all of our participants, free of charge. Just bring your athletic wear and tennis shoes. This program takes place every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. in our boxing room. The benefits of the program will give everyone good heart, healthy exercise while learning discipline, self-defense, and maybe the opportunity to box competitively. So what are you waiting for? Contact Thurgood Marshall Neighborhood Resource and Recreation Center or call 216-664-4045 for more information. We look forward to seeing you in the ring.
Welcome back to TV20 News. For generations, Cleveland's Mounted Police Unit has been a steady presence on city streets, combining tradition and training. TV20 takes you inside Cleveland's Mounted Police Unit to explore its history, the process of training a horse for police work, and the unique bond between officer and horse. This is Saddles and Service with Eleanor Hayes.
From downtown and neighborhood patrols to parades and presidential inaugurations, the Cleveland Police Mounted Unit captivates you. But how does it all work? What goes into protecting and serving from the back of a horse? Hello, I'm Eleanor Hayes. It takes officers and it takes horses to tell the story of one of the nation's oldest and most respected mounted police units.
Easy, big guy. Easy, boy. I'm Emery Stutzman, and I've been a farrier for the past almost 28 years. I started in November of 1997. Easy, bud. He got a new set of shoes the last time he was shod. So we're taking the shoes off and trimming his foot and reapplying the same shoes.
A solid footing could not be more important for Larry, a spotted draft mixed breed horse. He patrols the streets, helps protect the public, and amuses children. Larry is one of 6 horses who make up the equine half of the Cleveland Police Mounted Unit.
I think it allows people to approach us a little easier when we're on the horses rather than being in a police car. You know, they feel more comfortable coming up to us.
Denise Dugan has been an officer for 17 years and with this unit for 7.
It just, to me, is just a good place to be, to handle stress, and it's like my own little therapy. Being with the horses every day.
Loving the feeling of being around horses for a living makes a difference.
I was raised on a working dairy farm, a 100-acre working dairy farm, and I was always intrigued as a little guy, maybe 4 or 5 years old, by the process of, putting shoes on horses and trimming their feet.
Emery Stutzman is the unit's farrier.
Orium is on the toe and on the heel for traction, so that they don't slip and fall down out on the streets while they're working.
Work is patrolling the streets, marching in parades, visiting neighborhoods, and being available to police the city of Cleveland unlike any other unit. And the horses themselves are not like ones you generally see ridden for pleasure.
Well, most of the mounted police horses are draft horse or draft horse crossbreds. And so the biggest thing is they're bigger horses and they're a little more stoic, and where most of the people that ride trail horses are riding quarter horses, which are generally 1,000 to 1,200 pound animal, where I believe Larry here weighs somewhere between 17 and 1,800 pounds.
10:30, 10:45, we gather the horses, bring them in and start getting them ready. And then at 11:30, we go out and train for an hour.
Samantha Wilmot manages the stable and trains the horses and riders, desensitizing to get them accustomed to noise, sudden sounds, and movements. Firing weapons, suiting up in riot gear, just in case. Extracting to get people and cars moving. Nudging a giant ball to mimic controlling a crowd of people. It works because the horse and rider are, well, one unit.
So when I'm training horses and stuff, it's nice to be able to take them out by themselves down there. And I love our location. The horses get one of the most scenic locations in the city, overlooking the lake. So it takes us about 3 to 6 months to train each horse and to really see if they're gonna be able to handle it. Hey, Lenny. He was the first one I trained. And he took about 6 months, and he's definitely one of the barn favorites.
How would you describe the life of a horse that's assigned to the Mounted Police Unit?
Very fortunate. They are very well loved and cared for. I'm so fortunate all of the higher ups, if we have any issues or concerns, they're right away, do whatever is necessary. So they have the best of the best care. We have an amazing farrier for them to get their shoes done, which is quite a feat. Their shoes are just absolutely massive. So he comes out every 6 weeks and does those.
Someone asked me, do horses feel what you're doing?
Yes, they feel it, yes. It's not painful. Of course, unless you trim them too short, it's like trimming your nails too short. It's painful.
It takes experience and precision. Everything about the care of the horses is well planned.
And then we do have an assigned veterinarian, and we have another backup vet in case.
Collaboration is crucial to maintaining the operation of this public safety unit. There are the officers, the horses, their equipment, care, and training. It takes a lot to support this team, which is over 100 years old and has made history from inaugural parades to disaster rescues, a national political convention, sports championships, and appearances at the iconic Christmas Story House. Mounted police horses are often born and raised on Amish farms.
They're more intimidating, you know, crowd patrol, and their ability to carry an officer with all the proper gear, which can be several hundred pounds, you know, saddle, tack.
These are the saddles, saddle bags. Over here's bridles, chest plates and bits. These are for parades and funerals. It's amazing, it really is. You get the things you get to do. Like, I did a presidential inauguration I could have never done if I wasn't here. You know, we did parades, World Series, we did the All-Star games, we did the championship game for the Cavs. I don't know if you've ever been around 1.5 million people, that's a lot of people. It was really a lot of things I've done here that I couldn't have done anywhere else. We're pretty close. I trust him 100%. He takes care of me, I take care of him.
Officer George Janusak recently retired after 14 years with the Mounted Police, ending his term patrolling with Leonard.
He's ready to go.
This is Hershey. No, she's not one of the Mounted Police Unit horses. She's my horse, and we really enjoy trail rides. Whether it's your personal horse or whether it's a workhorse like for the Mounted Police Unit, connection and mutual respect are key to a successful relationship. The police officers and their horses spend countless hours training and bonding so that when they go out on patrol to protect and serve, they do it together.
I think I bonded with him. I mean, every day I come into work, I always tell him, you know, say hi to him, give him a little hug. I would say this has been a dream for quite a while. Like, some guys want to go into the K-9 unit or Detective Bureau or SWAT. I've always wanted to be a mounted police officer. Literally tried for like 20 years to get in here, so it's kind of a hard job to get into.
Officer Michael Tracy and other mounted police officers will tell you that even from atop nearly 2,000 pounds of muscle, they can see the difference they make. When you're on your horse and you're with community members, does it break down barriers in communication with the community?
I think it does break down barriers. Whether we ride on the east side or west side, all types of people come out of their doors, children, adults, and when they see the horses ride down their street, they just light up and they big smiles on their faces. And we always try to walk over to them because most of the people have never seen a horse in the public, or especially on their street. So,
what goes through your mind when you see them in parades or out with crowd control?
I think, well, they're nice horses and I get to do their shoes.
From the shoes to the saddles and the service it provides, the Cleveland Police Mounted Unit keeps patrolling well into its second century.
Thanks for watching TV20 News. I'm Dan Monroe. We'll see you next time, Cleveland.